The piercing beams of headlights flooded his dimly lit front yard. Cameras flashed like a relentless thunderstorm, and a cacophony of reporters' voices filled the air. "Mr. Harris, how does it feel to be a hero? Did you know who he was when you picked him up? What did he say to you in the car?" Daniel Harris, a grizzled taxi driver in his 50s, stood frozen on his porch, gripping his morning coffee. His fingers trembled against the mug. "Hero? Who? Me?" His mind reeled back to the night before. Hours earlier, the rain had started just as Daniel's shift was nearing its end. He was exhausted, his old bones aching from long hours behind the wheel. Just one more ride, he told himself. That was when he saw him. A man stood on the side of a deserted road, drenched, his face obscured by the shadow of his hood. He didn't wave or call for a cab, just stood there motionless. Instinctively, Daniel pulled over. "Need a ride, buddy?" he asked, lowering the window. The man nodded and slid into the back seat without a word. "Where to?" Silence. Daniel glanced at the rearview mirror. Something about the man unsettled him. His soaked clothes clung to his frame, and his breathing was slow, measured, like someone deep in thought or hiding something. But Daniel had been driving taxis for 20 years. He had picked up all kinds, drunks, runaways, even an escaped convict once. His gut told him this guy wasn't dangerous, just lost. "All right, let's just get you somewhere dry." The drive was quiet. Every so often, Daniel checked the mirror, but the man simply stared out the window, raindrops racing down the glass. They reached the city, and Daniel pulled up outside a modest motel. "You good, man?" The passenger finally moved. He pulled out a wallet, but Daniel shook his head. "On the house. Just get some rest." The man hesitated, then slowly nodded. He stepped out, lingered for a moment in the rain, then disappeared into the motel's shadows. Daniel didn't think much of it. Just another night, another passenger. Until now. "Mr. Harris, the man you picked up last night, do you realize who he was?" Daniel swallowed hard. "No." "Who?" A reporter stepped forward, shoving a newspaper in his hands. The front page bore a grainy photo of a gaunt-faced man with intense eyes. The headline made Daniel's stomach lurch. "Billionaire heir found after mysterious disappearance. Cab driver unknowingly saves his life." Daniel's breath caught. The pieces clicked into place. That silent passenger, the one he had given a free ride, was no ordinary man. He was James Caldwell III, heir to a vast fortune, who had vanished weeks ago under suspicious circumstances. Daniel exhaled sharply. I had no idea." He didn't say a word. "He didn't have to," another reporter interjected. "His family says you saved him from whoever was after him. He was hiding, scared for his life. You unknowingly got him to safety." Daniel's knees nearly buckled. He thought he had just picked up a lost soul in the rain. But in doing so, he had altered the course of a mystery gripping the nation. The crowd pressed in, cameras rolling. A black SUV pulled up, and a sharply dressed man stepped out. "Mr. Harris?" The man extended a hand. "I'm Nathan Caldwell. My brother wants to meet you." Daniel stared at the outstretched hand. Just last night, he had been a tired, broke taxi driver looking for one last fare. Now he was the man who had saved a billionaire. As he stepped off the porch, flashes erupted again. Reporters shouted his name. Daniel Harris, the taxi driver, was no longer just another man in the city. He was a hero.